Tea or Coffee, a film podcast with Thomas and Joe, with theme music by bensound.org. See description for more information.
Watto, and welcome back to a Tea or Coffee podcast where we talk movies, films, TV and other related media. Nailed it, take that Stephen. It's just me, Thomas, again this week. Hopefully Joe will be back next week, so stay tuned for that. But just for today, I thought I'd break down 2 episodes of Star Wars Rebels from Season 3. I would do the most recent episodes, but they're not available for me here in the UK, so I'm going to be talking about Warhead and Trials of Darksaber, which are episodes 14 and 15 respectively. So starting with Warhead, here's a plot synopsis. Wait, spoiler alert for all things Star Wars Rebels, sort of. I mean, I haven't watched every episode, but anyways, some spoilers. If I choose to say something spoilerish, don't come to me with all your complaints like you usually do. I mean, you don't actually, because there's no one really listening to this, but let's pretend there is. Anyway, Warhead. Zeb and Chopper bring a damaged droid found in the... Wow, that's an interesting word. Altion wilderness back to the base, only to discover the droid is an Imperial probe programmed to spy and destroy rebels. This is basically a toned down version of the opening for Empire Strikes Back. It's Zeb, Chopper, and an irritating droid hanging out on a base with an Imperial droid who's trying to get information back to the Empire. And that's basically the episode. There's not really much to it. It tries to be rather amusing, but the humour doesn't really work, if I'm being completely honest. It serves its purpose in the episode in that it's just trying to set up Thrawn getting closer to discovering Rebels' base, but that's really it, I suppose. It doesn't really have much depth to it, the episode, or any sort of character development or anything like that. The droid's design is pretty nice. It looks very like Ralph Crow's original concept art for C-3PO. That's pretty cool. And the homages to Empire Strikes Back at the start, with the Imperial droid landing and going out onto the planet and looking for Rebel base. It's nice, but it doesn't really save this episode from being a complete filler. I mean, originally this wasn't even meant to be an episode, but rather a B plot for another episode with Rex filling in for Chopper, which frankly would have just been much better. I'd rather seen this sort of as a small side plot rather than as a main sort of episode, and it's just a bit lackluster. So I'm going to give this episode... Oh wait, I better explain the rating system, which I should have nailed down by this point, but I haven't because I don't know why. But basically we equate a film, movie, or in this case a TV show, to a beverage of our choice, hence the name of the podcast, Tea or Coffee. I'm going to give it a glass of water. It's just not really got any flavour to it. It's a very bland episode. Now, moving on to Trials of Darksaber. To help recruit her people to have joined the rebels, Sabine reluctantly agrees to learn to wield an ancient Mandalorian weapon, but finds the challenge more difficult than expected. That was a plot synopsis, if you hadn't guessed. This episode is much better than I thought it would be. It's actually pretty good. There's some things I'll come on to which irked me a bit, but the overall conflict and reveal of Sabine's past was well worth the build-up. Her character really came through in a way which she hadn't really in the past, and the setup for the Mandalorian sequel to this episode, which you've all watched and I haven't, was really quite satisfying. To add some negativity discussion, and by discussion I mean dictation, it did feel odd to me the way that Kanan makes Sabine angry in order for her to release her frustration. It's odd because it doesn't really feel like the Jedi way, anger being path to the dark side and everything. The main way to Kanan at the start of the episode is very cautious, is one I sympathise with more. I don't really know what he was doing. I don't really feel that he was doing anything wrong by not letting her train with Darksaber. It was more that she was not letting herself be trained, and she was resisting, holding back, and for some reason giving her the saber allowed her to finally vent that frustration, and that just struck me as a little odd. It didn't really feel necessary. I felt they could have progressed that story without doing that, but they just needed some simple plot mechanism to move from A to B, so that's what they chose. But it didn't really feel consistent with the Jedi mythos of the Star Wars franchise. Another nitpick is that Ezra is quite annoying in this episode. I guess he's a teenager, so what do you expect? We all teenage once, except for me. I was never a teenager. Trivia drop there. On the whole, I did enjoy this episode, particularly for the character development of Sabine and the Mandalorian setup, and so I'm going to give it a chocolate milkshake. By that I mean that's what I'm comparing it to. I can't actually give the episode a chocolate milkshake. I mean, it doesn't have a mouth for starters, so how would it drink it? But those are just the 2 episodes I thought I'd give a bit of insight to. I've seen 2 more episodes have come out, as I said before. They both look really interesting. The first one with the Mandalorian conflict, and then with the following one with Thrawn and trying to find out who Fulcrum is, and Gallus trying to get out of being Fulcrum. Well, not get out of being Fulcrum, but stop him discovering. Obviously, we've come up to the end of the season with the Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, and also presumably a larger battle towards the end with maybe Thrawn discovering Rebel's base. So there's some real foundation set in these episodes for future episodes, and that's something I'm looking forward to, and hopefully I might cover that in a future episode. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and next time I shouldn't be alone. Like, subscribe on YouTube and Soundcloud. Tell your pals about the show. It won't cost you anything unless your pals don't like podcasts and will hate you for telling them about it, which case they're probably not very good pals anyway. That's all, folks. Bye.